Have you ever worked for years, poured your heart into a job only to be told you weren't worth what you were owed? That was me, and I decided I wasn't going to take it lying down. This happened back in the early 2000s. I had joined a small startup, a tiny team, exciting projects, work that genuinely challenged me. The salary? Mediocre. But the work itself? Fascinating. The kind of work that would build skills I knew would pay off later. We agreed on a simple contract, fixed salary, no paid overtime, and evaluations in 3 months, then annually. Nothing unusual. Everything seemed fair. For the first 3 years, I poured myself into the company. 10 decent clients, dozens more in trials, money starting to roll in. I worked late nights, weekends, all of it. I didn't mind. I loved the challenge. But after 3 years, the conversation shifted. Back pay, paid overtime, compensation for all the extra hours I'd worked. At this point, I had roughly $50,000 worth of unpaid overtime. A huge sum for me, and not insignificant for the small startup either. The talks dragged on. Emails, promises, negotiations, but no real action. Finally, they offered me equity, less than 0.01% of a company with 9 employees. I stared at the numbers. My blood boiled. It was a blatant slap in the face. A screw you disguised as generosity. I handed in my resignation that very same day. No notice, no hesitation. I walked out. The CTO panicked. The CEO hadn't updated my contract. I still had a month of notice, plus untaken paid leave. Basically, I could leave immediately. And I did. The next day, I sent a registered letter requesting my overtime pay. The response? Negative. I followed up with a detailed demand. Rejected again. There is no overtime, they said. The bonus is discretionary. But I wasn't intimidated. I had been seeking legal advice. I understood the law, and I knew the liability was squarely on the employer. Then I noticed something interesting. The statute of limitations was 7 years. I asked my attorney, what if we wait almost 7 years, then file, with all accrued interest? Compound interest on $50,000 at roughly 12% per year, daily accrual. It was like letting a snowball grow into an avalanche. I was willing to take the risk. For years, I waited. Life went on. The company grew, became a recognized player in the area. I watched quietly, letting the interest compound, letting my plan take shape. 6 years and 11 months later, I found a lawyer and filed the claim. By this point, my back pay demand, including interest, had ballooned to over $112,000. But there were also fixed penalties for each instruction to perform uncompensated overtime. Total? Around $135,000. When the CEO got the notice, he lost it. Verbally abusive phone calls, threats. I recorded every single one. Meticulous evidence. Court day came. I presented emails, registered letters, phone recordings. The judge read through all communications. The CEO tried to defend himself, but everything was documented. Every broken promise, every misleading statement. The judge's ruling? Immediate payment, without delay. Plus all my legal costs. And the company? Audited fully by the Department of Labor. The payment came through within a week. I finally sat back, feeling that quiet relief you only get after a long battle. And as if karma wasn't already satisfied, that very evening, the CEO apparently got very drunk and crashed his brand new Mercedes. DUI, suspended license, insurance refused to cover damages. I couldn't help but smile. Justice had a way of landing softly, but decisively. In the end, I didn't just get the money I was owed. I proved that patience, planning, and understanding the law can outweigh intimidation and short-sighted arrogance. And sometimes, letting someone's own hubris do the work for you is the sweetest victory of all.